What's going on? Welcome to Fantastic Tech and welcome to the Razer Wolverine Ultimate, Razer's answer to the Xbox Elite controller and apparently a very controversial piece of tech. Every time I've talked about this thing on my TikTok, link below by the way if you want to follow, I always see a wave of comments saying something like, oh, this thing is clunky and ridiculous, it's a waste of money, the actual Xbox Elite controller is way better. And then a smaller but still vocal group comments something along the lines of, oh my gosh, perfect controller, best I've ever had. The actual Xbox Elite controller, ridiculous. Mine broke after a month, no issues after a year. So, which is it? Well, I don't have any version of the Xbox Elite controller to compare to, so for now, we're just gonna be talking about how this thing holds up on its own, what you get with your purchase, features and setup, and if this is in fact a fantastic piece of tech. Intro shot. So in the box with your Razer Wolverine Ultimate, you get your documentation, the Razer welcome letter, which I freaking love. And beyond that, of course, you get this controller, which comes in this absolutely gorgeous carrying case. I'm not exactly sure the material, probably like molded cardboard with padded fabric on it. And inside the case sits the controller. In the pouch, you have your braided cable, as this is a wired controller, although it is detachable, which is very nice. And then at the bottom, you have your replacement pieces, a new D-pad that has more of a flushed face, and two replacement sticks. One that's a taller concave stick, like the normal one that already is on the controller, and then a shorter convex outward bump stick for crazy people. I gotta say, while the DualShock 4 is my favorite controller as far as comfort goes, I do love Xbox's just collection of controllers with the different color options, and then the more unique controllers like these Pro model options that you have here. They're just really pretty controllers, and I really like that. But let's be real, you're not gonna be looking at it all day. You are gonna probably use it once or twice. So let's talk features of the Razer Wolverine Ultimate, because this thing is packed. In addition to the normal Xbox One controller layout, you get 6 additional buttons, 2 at the top here, M1 and M2. You have 2 little sliders that when you pull them towards the triggers, very satisfying sound. It cuts the trigger pull in half, which I find it to be a weird feeling, but it does, I guess, give you a tactical advantage in different shooters to sweat your face off, so that's nice. And then of course the 4 buttons on the back, M3 through M6, like you're probably expecting from most of these Pro controllers. The fun does keep going though. Back at the front you have a bar here at the bottom with 4 buttons, a remap button, which you can do on the fly, you don't need Synapse for, which is very nice. A profile switching button to switch between your Synapse profiles, microphone mute, game and chat balance, and then right below that off the bottom, your 3.5 headphone or headset out. Apparently not all Xbox One controllers actually have 3.5 out, which is ridiculous. So it's very generous of them that after paying $160 for the controller, which is the price, by the way, that you actually do get a 3.5 out. Like I said, this is a wired controller, micro USB to USB-A connection, which is fine, honestly. No issues on latency, and it's not like you're charging the controller or anything like that. There's a very nice housing on the controller that the cable fits very snug. There's also a notch on either end of the cable. When you plug it in, you'll feel the controller vibrate as well as see the lights. There's no like really satisfying click or snap, which is unfortunate. I really always like that. It is a bit unnerving how much you have to yank on the cable to get it to unplug from the controller. I actually don't have a recent Xbox console. I use this with my PC, so in between uses, if I'm not like, doing something like this, like taking video of it, I'll just unplug the USB-A end, and that works fine. While a wired controller in 2022 would probably turn some people away, like I said, I use it with my PC, so it's almost preferred, and it is a good cable. It's a very, very good cable, in fact. Braided, plenty of length if you did need to run it like from your couch to your console. And it has this little breakaway segment towards the USB-A end. If you happen to have whatever port that is, which I can't figure out for the life of me, so if someone does know, leave a comment. Oh, and while you're down there, hit the like button. Thanks. Now, everything so far has been pretty normal. However, the most interesting thing I would say are the face buttons. They are what Razer is calling tactile switch face buttons. They have a very shallow press and they feel and sound like a mouse click. Here's a little test. They're very interesting. Let's move on to functionality because now I can say that the face buttons are a weird call. I would guess that that decision, like the trigger pull, for example, is about a tactical advantage. However, I almost find it to be a disadvantage because for me personally, at least, there is little to no tactile feeling on these tactile switches. Here's my example though. In a hectic fight in Halo, for example, explosions are going off, the controller is vibrating, I go to reload, nothing happens. I can't tell in all of that commotion if I hit the button or not. There's not enough feedback, so if nothing happens, I'm not sure if I just missed the button or if I was like still in between animations or something. That has happened enough times that my first initial impression of, oh, this is a little weird, but I'll get used to it, is now just, I don't like this. I want the old buttons back. I will also say that this controller was definitely an adjustment to get used to comfort-wise. Just the size difference between the DualShock 4 and the Razer Wolverine Ultimate. This guy just feels like it would be so uncomfortable for most people who would buy it. And I will say for me personally, I have tried tried the grip where you are using all 4 back buttons, and there is a lack of inward pressure on the controller, and that does feel a little bit not the best. Now, as far as mapping goes, the top 2 face buttons, I actually don't even know what they're mapped to because I don't really use them, but all 4 back buttons I have mapped to the face buttons. For a game like Forza, I don't actually use any of the extra buttons, but it's very nice for Halo to have aim and jump accessible at the same time. Probably what most people's first move for setting this controller up would be. Obviously that's mapped to M3. It's the easiest convenient button for me to get to. Reloading X on M5 is a close second. It's there. I don't often use it. Muscle memory just to reach up to X is still very ingrained. M4 and 6 are set up as Y and B, but I really don't use those much at all because of my grip, which goes as follows. For my left hand, thumb on the stick, pointer finger on the trigger, middle finger on M3 with maybe the ring finger coming in there and getting M5, but not often. On the right hand, thumb on the stick, pointer on the bumper, middle finger on the trigger. Even though I do leave most of the extra buttons unused, I just find that grip that I have creates a nice inward pressure on the controller, and for me, that's just what's comfortable, which frankly is the most important part. There might be wrong ways to hold the controller, there might be certain right ways to hold the controller. However, whatever's comfortable to you, do that. And so that does lead us to the ultimate question. Should you buy the Razer Wolverine Ultimate for $160? No, definitely not. I would say that that's way too expensive for some of the oddities. You don't even get the option of wireless connectivity. However, the good thing is that this controller is almost always on sale. And that's actually one of the reasons why I went with this over something like the Series 2. One, gotta be money conscious. This was actually a Christmas gift from my wife. And when I was looking at the Series 2, I wasn't 100% set on it, and it was 140 bucks. Saw this, went ooh, love that. Again, wired totally fine, and it was 50 bucks cheaper. Add to cart. At the $90 price, this thing is awesome. It is a very active, engaging feeling controller. Don't get this for like casual games or for story games where immersion is a big thing. And again, while I don't have anything to compare it directly to, overall, I'm very, very pleased with its performance, features, and functionality. Not perfect. Like I said, the face buttons are a little strange. It does take some getting used to. However, it's pretty as heck, and that matters a lot to me. Maybe not to you, but I like that. And with that being said, thanks for coming by. Y'all have a good one. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you think you will continue to like the videos here, go ahead and hit the sub button. Stay safe, stay happy. Catch you back here in the next one. Peace out.